What's going on, you guys? It's Dmachine, and I'm bringing you some 2v2 footage of Ret Paladin Hunter. This composition is very reliant on a lot of damage, a lot of burst, off healing, and a whole bunch of Hunter CC. So against this team, Windwalker Monk, DK, we focused on the DK to avoid the kiting of the monk and the off heals of the monk. Some tips to face this team: make sure to use a Pyro Weapon Chain for the monk's disarm. Turn evil the DK's pet when he's getting lower, so he can't sacrifice it. And bop your hunter out of fists and karma. Feral Druid Hunter is a pretty decent team to face. They got a lot of CC. Focus down that Hunter and CC the Feral Druid, and just keep yourself alive and your Hunter alive, and you'll eventually out-survive them. UA Warlock, Resto Druid. Man, this comp sucks to face. If you're gonna fight them in a late game, you will lose 100% of the time. So you gotta get that early pressure, you gotta get those early traps. It was really hard to synergize with my Hunter to win to CC and what, because we weren't in Skype. We went all the way to 2K with this comp without Skype, so it's definitely possible, guys. Just learn to synergize your CC and burst right off the bat against this team. Feral Druid Warrior. They are a bursty comp. They got a little bit of CC, but a whole bunch of burst. Basically, play the survive game. That's what you have over them, is that you have a lot of ways to survive. Survive and burst them down, and get them on the defensive before you die. Elemental Shaman, BM Hunter. As weird as that is, this comp is actually a lot similar to ours. Huge amount of burst, a little bit of off healing, and that's basically all they have to offer. So what we did is we went after the Shaman. He doesn't really have a big reset button like the Terrence, so we just popped our one-shot macro and made him eat some dirt. Windwalker Discrease. This team has a lot of defensive ability, so again, you need to be really aggressive, and it's going to be a really hard kill. Luckily, on this game, after Void Swap, I chased down the Priest, and I did get a lucky kick on him, and that kind of ended the game for them.
Restrain all our voices and swallow the
Shadow Priest, Frost Mage. Against this particular composition, you gotta play really aggressive. This team can blow you up. So we jump on the Frost or the Shadow Priest. He doesn't have nearly as much mobility, and we just get him to pop his cooldowns really quickly while CCing his partner.
I'm like Ace, I have nowhere to sleep, so we roam on the road with the other three. Feeling old and alone, now we're young and free. Nowhere to go and no home, cause they're scared of me. Listen, let's fix him to your cold heart knocking. It's your heart blocking it. Got you fix him. All the holes where life should be. What do your eyes see true? We are vicious.
Feral Druid, Ret Paladin. Very similar to Ret Paladin duels. Whenever you face a Ret Paladin with double DPS, as a double DPS, you really want to focus on getting that Paladin to bubble first, just like if you were dueling a Ret Paladin as a Ret Paladin. Just play really aggressive and get that bubble before he gets yours, and you'll come out ahead. Resto Druid, Warrior. Against this team, you got to get a lot of cooldowns out of the Warrior, and you can always look for those switches to the Resto Druid, and you need to play with your defensive cooldowns extremely well. You need really good trades. For instance, if the Warrior's popping his cooldowns, try to just use your wall and your Aura Mastery instead of actually having to bubble, using your Hunter to peel for you. If you can get ahead with cooldowns, you ultimately will win the game when the Druid is out of their cooldowns.
Real casualties bring us at ease. Nay, just another way to go. None of us have any goals. I need to be with you, recover on time. 'Cause blood live flies in their own skies. True, we are vicious, though we never intended to be malicious. True, we're all in this, fan out the boring and repetitious. Yes, we're suspicious, so we leave no trace when our job is finished. We are listless, and we tear away. Our boots hit the ground and they scatter away. They fall all around like they've made a mistake.
Elemental Shaman, Disc Priest. This team is pretty deadly later game because of the amount of procs and things that Flame Shock will give the Elemental Shaman. So you want to play really aggressive really quickly. Get that trinket from that priest, and always look for the switch on the Void Swap.
And swallow the pain. Deadly and gorgeous, we're coming through. We're coming for you.
BM Hunter, Disc Priest. This team is really tough. They got a lot of CC, a lot of sustained damage, and a lot of survivability. Again, play really aggressive, get the deterrences out of the Hunter, but don't be afraid to sit behind a pillar and wait for cooldowns. That could be the difference between a longer game or a win or a loss, honestly. Always look for those Void Swaps once again. Any Disc DPS team or any priest, healing priest DPS team, you want to look for those Void Swaps to get that kill. Just if they don't have a trinket, one swap with a Hodge or a silent shot will be the end of a priest if he Void Swaps at a bad time. Unholy DK, Holy Paladin. I like to go turn Evil Glyph for this to fear his pet and his gargoyle and stuff. The Paladins are really prone to CC. So just really focus on getting a lot of that pressure on this DK while CCing that Paladin. If the Paladin's not in a very good position, like this Paladin's in the middle of the map, we will ultimately get every CC or every trinket, his bubble and everything, and we'll just have to survive. That's the tricky part. With the Paladin and the DK, it's really hard to survive through the Necros and stuff like that. So if you are playing the survive game, distance yourself from the DK and avoid as many Necros as possible. If he can't melee you, he can't put Necrotic Strike on you.
It's all okay, you'll be alright. But every night I could hear it, I remember. I could hear it in the wind, that melody.
Paladin, Feral Druid. Same thing, Holy Paladins are really prone to that CC, so just put them through that CC chain and try to get the cooldowns out of the Feral Druid. Ultimately, if you're close to full health while they're popping their defensive cooldowns, you will pull ahead. Going against a mirror as Ret Paladin Hunter is very similar to facing a duel against another Ret Paladin. Play really aggressive, but on the other hand, make sure your positioning is very good. If that hunter is just going ham on you and your hunter's still walking across the map, you will eventually lose. So make sure that they overextend to you and you get that Paladin's bubble first.
I remember they would say it's all okay, you'll be alright. Every night I could hear it, I remember. I could hear it in the wind, that melody that they would play every single day to remind us it was over. And it went
Unholy DK, Resto Shaman. Very similar to the Holy Paladin Unholy DK comp. You got to play really aggressive because later games you will end up dying. Luckily with the Resto Shaman, you can stop things like Healing Tide Totem and Spirit Link, and you can get those cooldowns out and you can get rid of them quickly. No matter what you do, you got to sit the bubble against the Holy Paladin. So this team should be an easier match than Holy Paladin DK. Disc Priest, Ret Paladin. This team has so many defensive abilities. So play really aggressive and make sure you're ahead. The amount of CC that you guys can pull off with you and your hunter is really going to be put to the test here. The synergy between your CC on the priest is really going to determine your win or loss against this team. You got to use them all efficiently or they will pull ahead and survive. Thanks again for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed this sort of thing, like this walkthrough on this 2v2 comp of Ret Hunter, let me know in the comments below and give it a thumbs up. Also, I'm going to be live streaming just about every day at twitch.tv/Dmachine52. Please come and check it out. Please come and give me a follow, and I will promise to give you some entertaining Ret PvP content. Blast off. Dmachine out.